You might have heard the saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover." Well, if you ever come across an old coin, don't judge it by its face value, because this one could be worth millions. One day in 1953, a young man named Carl brought home a roll of coins from his paper route. It was an ordinary day in an ordinary town. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but hidden among those coins was something very extraordinary. One of them was hollow. See, this wasn't just any coin. It was a cleverly concealed microfilm canister filled with secret Soviet intelligence. And by the end of the day, it would expose a major KGB spy ring operating right under the noses of the United States government. What happened next is one of the most unbelievable stories of espionage in history. So how did an ordinary paperboy stumble upon such a significant piece of intelligence? Well, it all started when Carl decided to do something about the loose change jingling in his pocket. He went over to his mom and asked her to take the coins and roll them up for him so he could deposit them at the bank. His mother, not knowing any better, did as she was asked. She put the coins into a little bag and sealed it shut. Then Carl took the bag and headed off to the bank. When the teller at the bank saw the roll of coins, she immediately noticed something was off. As she peeled back the paper, she saw that instead of the usual stack of shiny quarters, there was a strange, tightly sealed metallic cylinder. Curiosity got the better of her, so she opened it. Inside, she found a small roll of microfilm. It looked like one of those old movie projectors we used to use. And just like that, an ordinary day at the bank turned into an extraordinary moment. Word quickly spread about the mysterious coin. And soon enough, Carl was summoned by government officials who were eager to question him about it. At first, they thought it was a one-off, maybe a prank by someone who worked at the mint. But what they found on the film strip changed everything. As the officials began to develop the film, they saw that it contained micro-images of top-secret documents. These weren't your average state secrets. No, sir. These were blueprints for Soviet spy rings operating within the U.S. government. To make matters worse, the film also had details about a Soviet spy who was waiting to be picked up in Washington, D.C. Suddenly, the stakes were raised. They had to find this spy before he vanished into thin air. It was a race against time. Meanwhile, the officials desperately tried to track down the spy, all thanks to a roll of coins. The pressure was immense. They needed to know who put the film in the coin and why. After a thorough investigation, they finally got their answer. It was an individual named Colonel Rudolph Abel, one of the USSR's top spies. His job was to gather sensitive information and send it back to the Soviet Union. And let's not forget the method he chose to do it, hiding microfilms in hollowed-out coins. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth did the Soviets get those microfilms in there? Well, it turns out they had a secret process to do it. They created tiny holes in newly minted coins and inserted the film. Then they sealed the holes, making the coins look as good as new. But this clever trick came with a risk. If the coins got into circulation, the mission could be compromised. That's exactly what happened with the one that Carl found. It was supposed to be delivered to a contact in New York, but somehow it ended up in Carl's hands. You've got to feel sorry for the guy. Imagine getting busted because a kid found your secret stash. Talk about an unexpected plot twist. As for the spy, well, he met an untimely end. The authorities didn't take any chances. They knew he could bolt at any moment. So they arrested him, ending his spying days once and for all. All because of a seemingly ordinary coin. And that, my friends, is the incredible story of the hollow coin that could have changed the course of history. Just goes to show, you never know what secrets might be hidden in plain sight.